From the headquarters of the Guild of Champions, this is the Chris Terrell Podcast, and I am your host, Chris Terrell, and welcome to another week of your weight loss quest. How did this last week go for you, champion? What new challenges did you encounter? But more importantly, what failure did you have last week? And what I'd love to hear about is that lesson that you got from that failure. Come on now. Don't let a perfectly good failure go by without getting a lesson. Now, if you're new here, I've lost 125 pounds myself after an entire adulthood of chronic yo-yo dieting. Up, down, again, before I finally got sick and tired of being sick and tired. And I made some permanent, meaningful, and actual changes to my real life. My lifestyle, my habits, routines, to my environment, to my community, and to my system of beliefs. Because it's all 6 of those things that create me. And it's all 6 of those things that create you as well. And if you want to experience a permanent transformation in your life, you are going to have to make permanent changes. You're going to have to actually crack open the hood of your real life and just start fiddling with stuff. See what ain't right. Just twist the knob and see what happens. Because if you keep doing the same things, if you keep reacting the same way, if you keep thinking the same thoughts, you know what you're going to get? You're going to get more of the same. And if you keep trying those same old diets, you're going to keep getting the same old results that those same old diets always give you. You ever notice something about those that do a crash diet? They seem to gain it all back. Why do you think you are going to somehow be any different than the rest? Oh, that's right. Because I'm going to try harder. I want it more this time. Maybe. But what if you're wrong? You see, I've started to really dig into that question. Why do so many people fail at weight loss? Now, when I say fail, we got to define failure in the context of this episode. Failure means not attaining the goal and not progressing towards that worthy goal that you have set for yourself. And we're going to really dig into this. I'm going to be tapping into some concepts taught by Earl Nightingale, if you're familiar with him, and some of his work. You're going to greatly enjoy this episode. I've been on vacation the last couple of weeks, so if you've listened to those episodes, they were a little bit different than normal. I hope you enjoyed them. The walk and talk one that I did last week, I actually really liked, and I fully expect to do more of those because I think it'd be really cool, and I could take you on some new places. I got a video. It is not uploaded yet because of vacation, but I'll have it uploaded in the next 7 days. If you wanted to see that on the YouTube channel, which, by the way, if you don't know that, I have a YouTube channel. I go live there every Monday morning, and I will be resuming that this coming Monday, what's that, 9th, 10th, 11th, I don't know, 12th, I think it is, of August, 9 a.m. Central Standard Time. And I go for about an hour and a half, 2 hours, kind of depending on kind of the role I get in. We'd love to take your questions. So if you're looking to get some questions answered and you basically want to get some coaching for free, come on over to the YouTube channel and tune into a live stream, and I'll help you out there. If you're looking for a community to help you out, head on over to christerrellcoaching.com. You'll find a link to my free Facebook group there, which is a phenomenal community of people looking to lose weight the correct, sensible way, not through crash dieting, not tell me what foods I need to cut out forever so I can lose weight temporarily and gain it all back. Yeah, we don't do that there. We do the real stuff. Because one of the things that I've learned, and everybody over there knows, and hopefully you know, if not, you need to know it, this is only 20% mechanics. Like the vast, vast majority of your success is going to come as a result of the behavior changes you make, not from the technical knowledge. So many people think, oh, I just need to learn the next food. No, you don't. Oh, I need to learn the right exercise to do. No, you don't. Don't get me wrong. It's not wrong with learning those things, but they're not the secret sauce. They're not the thing that make it work, that make the weight loss be permanent. What is the difference, though? If 100 people set out to lose weight, you know what I've noticed? They all say they want to be successful. None of them set out saying, I want to not be successful. None of them say that. And yet, the overwhelming majority are not successful. A select few seem to be the ones that are successful, that lose all the weight, not get halfway there and then settle and say they're happy at 230 pounds when yo ass know damn well you could be 160 pounds and still lose another 20 pounds. What are you settling 50, 60, 70 pounds overweight for? Why? What is the difference between those and those that do what I do and what others have done? And that is get to the dream body territory. What's the difference? What's the difference? And I've been racking my brain for years trying to understand that. it goes so far beyond just weight loss, because really what we're talking about is, why are some people successful in anything? I mean, think about it. Most people set off to do a thing. If you take 100 people that at the age of 18 saying they want to be financially secure by the time they're 65, probably more than 50% of them are going to be broke. What happened? What's the difference? Some of you listening right now, your ass is broke, and you did not have the goal of being broke at your age. What happened? Right? I wanted to know that. I looked around my life at a certain point several years ago, realizing I ain't where I wanted to be. I ain't where my goal said I wanted to be. What happened? What happened? And so let me ask you a question. What is wrong with people today when they set off to lose weight? What is it? Here's what I think it is. People just simply don't think enough. They don't consciously think enough. They go on autopilot. They go on habit energy. They get too stressed, turn off their thinking brain, and resort to their habit brain. Well, what if your habit brain likes to turn to food and sitting around and numbing out with a TV show and food? Or what if your habit brain likes to sit around and numb out by gossiping about everybody else's problems, instead of going, hey, maybe you got some problems that you need to be dealing with, and you need to stop judging other people so damn hard? I mean, what if you just stopped and thought more? Not when it's easy, right? Look, if weight loss was only, if you could just do the things you should do when it's easy, well, we wouldn't have an obesity problem. The reality is, you got to do the stuff that matters when it's hard to do it. That means when you're stressed. That means when you're overwhelmed. That means when it's hard. That means when your grandma's coming up and offering you food and trying to push it in your face. You're going to have to figure something out. Why do so many fail? Everyone starts off their weight loss journey hoping for success. Everyone starts off with hope for success, and yet so many fail. So many don't make it. What happened to all the failure types? What is the difference between the winners and the losers? Now, in the past, I've been talking about those that are amateurs and hacks, and those that turn pro. Those that take their dreams and they become a professional in the pursuit of getting those dreams, of getting the body and life of their dreams. So Earl Nightingale, he defined success as this, because as I defined failure earlier, we need to also define what success is. If you don't know what success is, how do we know if we're doing it? And we've got to take a moment and define the words we're using, because you and I might be using different definitions. It's amazing how you can have two adults both speaking the same language, using the same words, and yet they're not saying the same things. That's because a lot of people don't stop and define the terms. They just assume the other person knows something, or a person's ego doesn't let them go, hold on. I want to make sure I understand what you're saying there. So here's how we're going to define success in the context of this podcast episode. We're going to use the definition provided by Earl Nightingale. Success is the progressive realization of a worthy ideal. Success is the progressive realization of a worthy ideal. And let me tell you, going for the body of your dreams is a worthy ideal. Seeking to be in shape is a worthy ideal. Seeking happiness and peace in your life is a worthy ideal. These are things that 100% will result in you being more satisfied with your life. Now, there's another term that I like to use a lot. And when I was researching for this episode, Earl Nightingale defined the opposite of one of my favorite words. One of my favorite words is courage. Allow me to explain courage in case you've not ever come across this word beyond like just hearing it used. Like, how do we apply courage? How do you know if you have courage? How would I describe the experience of courage? And I would describe it like this. It's feeling fear and acting anyway. It's acting in spite of the presence of fear, even crippling fear. You see, a courageous champion feels fear and does something anyway. They sacrifice the things they need to sacrifice anyway. They do the things that scare them anyway. They overeat, hear all the negative thoughts, and then the next morning get up and keep going anyway. I love courage. When I started living my life from a place of courage, my life started transforming. And I promise you that if you start living your life from a place of courage, choosing to act in spite of the fact you feel fear, if you start doing that, your life will rapidly begin to transform. Not in a month. Come on, let's not be silly here. Rapidly means a year or two. Look back over the last 5 years of your life. How much has your body transformed? Right? Many of you are probably like how I was, where sure, throughout the 5 years, you're going up and down like an elevator, but by and large, it ain't changed much. The last 5 years looks the same. It's a bunch of yo-yo dieting. For those of you that are pushing and pushing and pushing, you have probably found your courage. Now, what is the opposite of courage? What is the opposite of courage? I had never considered that until, again, researching this episode, Earl Nightingale explained it. He said that courage, or the opposite of courage, is conformity. The opposite of courage is conformity. And when I heard him say that, I was like, whoa, that's it. That's it. It is conformity. If we look at why so many people struggle with weight loss, a major contributing factor is they are conforming to the expectations of society around them. They're conforming to what they think everybody thinks they should do. They're conforming to their habits. They're conforming to the conditioning that was given to them as a child. Oh, I can't throw away food. I can't. My grandmother trained that into me. My mom and dad trained that into me. Why are you being a conformist? Why are you conforming to that belief system that you were given? Why don't you stop and critically assess that belief system to see, do I even need it? Is this a necessary belief for me anymore? Does this belief still serve me? Or should I maybe have the courage to go against the conditioning of my parents? You see, your parents probably did the best they knew how under the circumstances. I'm not going to sit here and tell you need to bash your parents. That's not fair to them, right? I'm learning. There ain't a one-size-fits-all rule book for life, and there certainly isn't one for parenting. And some of y'all, you had great parents that did the best they could, and they still fucked you up a little bit. Some of y'all got the other end of the spectrum. Your parents are terrible. Gosh, they probably should have taken you from them. They were so terrible. You both are in the same boat, though. This is your mess. This is your life, and you got to deal something about it. You can walk around blaming your circumstances, blaming the conditioning that was given to you when you were younger, saying, I can't change because of my parents. You could go around saying that. Or you can choose to have courage and say, I'm going to reject the conditioning that was given to me when I was younger and didn't just quite honestly know any better and didn't have the means of saying no. Why do so many people experience a lack of success? Remember, success is the progressive realization of a worthy ideal. Why do so many people experience a lack of this? It's because they're conforming to the standards of others. What do you mean? You got to eat this food. Hey, we're all going out to eat. You got to eat with us. Hey, we're all going out to happy hour. You got to have a drink with us. Why do so many conform? Why do you conform? Why did I conform? I was very much someone that conformed. Most people don't even have any idea that they're conforming. They don't even realize it. They actually don't think that they are. Maybe you're one of those. Have you ever taken a critical look at your life to see, are you conforming to the expectations, opinions, and dogma of others? Or are you looking within, finding what it is that you truly desire, independent of everybody else, and moving towards that? Most people believe that their life is shaped by circumstance. That's what they believe. Circumstances have shaped my life. Life is happening to me. This thing happened to me yesterday. This thing happened to me a year ago, and I am dealing with it. These individuals are at effect to the outside forces of the world. And the world, as the great Rocky Balboa said, is a terrible, mean, and nasty place. And I don't care how tough you are, it'll beat you to your knees and keep you there permanently if you let it. That's what he said. And he's right. He is right. The world is going to come at you 100 different ways telling you how you should live your life. And if you're not careful, you'll conform to those expectations. And some of you, the reason why you were big and the reason why you continue to discover failure in your life, maybe not even just in weight loss, but in other areas, is because you are regularly conforming to the expectations of others. Now, this is a natural thing that humans do. It's why it's so important that you look who you are around, because you are going to subconsciously always be trying to meet the expectations of those around you unless you have learned to break free from the expectations of others, which is tremendously difficult to do. Tremendously difficult. So who succeeds in weight loss? Who are those that get what I got, which I know is what you want, That's why you're here listening to this podcast. That's why you keep coming back to my contents, because you want my results, which is the body of your dreams. I got the body of my dreams. I left behind the old lifestyle. I had to stop conforming. I had to stop letting my life be something that is dictated by others. Oh, Chris, you need to do this because this will make me feel better. Fuck you. I don't care who you are. This is my life, and I have to live with the results of my choices. And if the way I live my life makes you uncomfortable, that's a you problem, not a me problem. You got to work through that. Look, I stayed in a closet until I was 34. I was so damn confused at 34 trying to come out of it. I didn't know if I was gay, straight, or whatever. Turns out I'm bisexual. I had to go on that whole journey, but I was too afraid of the judgment of others, so I kept it to myself. The funny thing is, I felt I needed to tell people, and then eventually I reached this point, I'm like, I don't care. I don't care if you know. It doesn't matter to me what you think about how I live my life. All it matters is to me and to those in my life, how I live it. Quite honestly, your opinion is irrelevant. So who finds success? Who gets the body of their dreams? It is those who are progressively working towards their worthy goal. Now, a goal is so important. A goal must be an effective goal. Because look, a lot of goals out there are just garbage. Many of you are out there just setting just garbage goals. Garbage goals. No, you got to have milestone goals. I'm not talking about those. I'm talking about the big goals. Those of you in the guild, you know what I'm talking about. At the top of Success Mountain. What is the goal at the top of Success Mountain? That's got to be a goal you've never had before. Something you've never done. When you're setting off on this weight loss journey, you need to be setting off towards a body that you are too afraid to even admit that you want. That's got to be the one, because it will require courage to move towards it. It's going to require courage to get to it. Now, look, that number is not the same for everybody. Now, I'm going to challenge you, some of you. You are settling. You are trying to stop at a weight that is not healthy. So let me give you a way to know, right? Because there's a zone, like there's a range of weight that you could be in, and it would be, I would think, in my personal opinion, and I'm going to die on this mountain. I will put a flag on this mountain, on this one, it's your height to weight ratio. Fuck BMI. I don't care about that one. Height to waist ratio. Your height to weight ratio needs to be, height to waist ratio, let me say that correctly, needs to be below 0.5. So 0.49 or below, and roll above 0.4. So between 0.4 and 0.49, that's where you need to land. As long as your weight puts you in that zone, you're good. Anywhere in there, you're good. If you want to go to the bottom end, to the 0.4 range, there's a definite lifestyle that comes with that. All right, if you want to be like 0.48, there's a different lifestyle that comes with that. That's fine, but you need to be in that range. If you are not in that range, you are overweight and you need to do something about it. I'm just going to say that. You need to do something about it because your life is too precious. Your life is too valuable. And the experiences of life are better when you're thinner. Look, I spent most of my life overweight. I tried for over 20 years to figure out how to be satisfied and happy with a fat body. And you know what? I did all right. I found ways to be happy as best I could. But you know what? In a thin, in-shape body, everything's better. There's nothing better about being in a big body. Nothing. Everything is better. And I want you to have it. I want you to have it because you're missing out. I now know what you're missing out on. And if you get here, you're going to be like, damn, Chris, I'm glad you told me because I didn't know what I was missing. You're missing out. Now, when you are going after that goal, that deep goal that you finally am in letting yourself admit that you want, saying, I want it, and I'm going to move towards it, you'll begin to feel something different. You see, there's a difference between just sauntering over there and hoping, maybe, I don't want to get my hopes up because I don't want to get disappointed. No. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about you making a conscious decision in a moment. Like you can go at 4:35 p.m. today, I made the decision to go towards the body of my dreams, which is 165 pounds. Well, that was mine. I'm 5'10". I'm a 5'10" male. So that's what I was going for. For some of you, it'll be 170, 130, 180, 135, 140. I don't know. It definitely got a 1 in front of it. All right? It ain't a 2. I ain't here trying to help any of you stop at a 2. Right? If your weight begins with a 2 and you're thinking you're good, you're done, you ain't. You're settling. You're an amateur. You're giving up and you're selling your potential short. You got to believe in yourself even more. You have to live deliberately, which is make a decision. I want this. and then you begin to move towards it. And that big goal is so crucial. Now, how do we make all this happen, though? How do we make all this happen? You see, there's a secret, and it's a fun secret that I discovered it. And when I discovered it, I thought I was the first person that discovered it. Then I started reading books and realizing, oh, shit, nope, I'm not the first person, not even remotely close. In fact, people have known about this a long time. And in fact, people have been trying to tell me about it my entire damn life, and I wouldn't listen. And I'm going to try to tell you about it right now. Some of you, you already know what I'm about to tell you. You already know the secret that I'm about to tell you. Some of you, you're just beginning to be aware of it. You're just beginning to let it into your mind at your deep levels. And some of you are going to be like, well, yeah, that's a neat idea. And then you're not going to do anything with it, which means you don't know it. You see, if your behavior doesn't change, you don't know it. Your behavior must change. That's how you know it. And some of you, what I'm about to say is just going to go right over your head. Just right over. It's going to go right in one ear and out the other. I don't know who you are, but only you do. So I want you to really listen. All right, sometimes I got to do this because I know when you listen to a podcast, you're kind of multitasking. Your brain gets distracted. So, hey. Hold. So I had to snap some of you into a moment right here. Listen. If this is the only thing you listen to in this entire episode, listen to what it is I'm about to tell you. Those of you that are distracted right now, come back. Stop what you're doing and give me a minute and listen. We become what we think about all the day long. We become what we think about all the day long. Philosophers, scientists, religion, everybody agrees on this. It's one of the few things pretty much everybody agrees on. What you carry and think about in your conscious mind all the day long, you will become. Now, doing it for a day isn't going to get it done. You're going to have to do it for a long time. You've got to carry around the thought in your mind every day. I am losing weight. I am on a weight loss journey. You must do whatever it takes to think that thought as many times as you possibly can every single day. You cannot think it too many times. Oh, Chris, this is exhausting thinking about this too much. Then you don't want this. Then you don't want it. It should not be a burden. Any of you ever going like, well, I can't be bothered to think about my kids all day long. That's just too exhausting to think about them. I can't be bothered to think about my wife that I love more than life itself too much. No, that would just be exhausting to think about her too much. I can't think about this movie that I love so much. I can't not think about my sports team. I can't think about it. You do this all the time. You have got to make the pursuit of your goal a thought that you carry as often as you possibly can. Every single day, day in, day out, until you're done. Until you're done. I don't know how long that's going to take. That's up to you. That's up to you how long this takes. You can decide. Some of you, you're going to make this take 5 times longer than necessary. Some of you, you'll make it take only as long as is necessary, which is no more than 2 pounds a week on average, right? As long as you're not doing more than 2 pounds a week on average, you're good. If you're going faster than that, you do not have the Chris Terrell seal of approval for your weight loss strategy. No, I will in fact actively try to talk you out of it. Whatever methodology you're using to get you weight loss faster than that, nope, don't agree with it. Too many downsides. That's the speed limit. That's the speed of light speed limit. Don't go faster. Because when you start going over 2 pounds a week, your body is taking away more than body fat because your goal is to lose body fat. You got to keep your muscle mass. I don't want you losing that. You need it. But back to the point. You must carry in your mind all the day long your goal. I am losing weight. I am going to get to the body of my dreams. I know this is going to take as long as it takes, but I'm not going to go making it take any longer than is absolutely necessary. You have to remember you're the greatest obstacle to your success. You. It's not the saboteurs in your life. It's you, because the saboteurs show up and it's how you respond to them that dictates whether they were successful or not. It's you, and it's the thoughts that you carry inside your head. And some of you don't like that. Some people aren't going to want to hear that. I know. You want it to be something as simple as, Chris, I just got to cut out of food. Or some of you, I know you don't even want to be the one at fault. You don't want to be the one responsible for this. It's so important to you that it's a disease and you're powerless to it. It happened to you. And there's nothing you can do. You're a victim to your weight. I know. Some of you need it to be that way. But it's not. It's important that you look at reality and that you own your part, recognizing that it is your thoughts that create the results that you have, and it's your thoughts that will create the results in your future. And if you want to get the body and life of your dreams, if you want to progressively move towards your dream body week in, week out, you must carry the thoughts that are in alignment with that every day, as often as you possibly can. Now, let me give you a tip, a final tip that'll help you get this done. And that is to love yourself. Many of you, a reason why you won't do the things I'm talking about in this episode, and the reason why you will not find the success that you so deeply desire, is because you're withholding self-love and self-acceptance. You're waiting until you cross some arbitrary number on a scale. You're waiting until you hit some clothing size. You're waiting until you hit the next 100 praises, accolades from somebody else. You're waiting for something before you will give yourself permission to love yourself. You are withholding that love. Maybe you thought you made too big a mistake in your past, and your penance is you don't get to have love. Some of you, it's been conditioned into you that you don't deserve to love yourself. I don't know what the reasons are, but I know there are many that are listening now and many that aren't listening that don't love yourself. You tolerate yourself. You're aight with yourself. You don't love yourself. You see, as I used the example earlier, a little flippantly, I never hear anybody complain about, oh, it's so burdensome to think about my kids all the time. No, the reason why we don't do that is because you love your kids. It's a joy and a privilege and a pleasure to think about them. Your main squeeze, your boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife, whatever. It's not a burden to think about them. I have my wife on my home screen of my phone. Why? Because I want to think of her all the time. As much as I can, I want to think about her. It's not a burden. It's a joy and a privilege. I want to. And not because I want her to think of me. I just derive pleasure from thinking about her. It's not a burden. And that's because I love her. But you know who else I think about all the time? Myself. Because I love myself. Because I discovered when I love myself, I will start sacrificing for myself. I'll start paying prices for myself. I'll start doing myself solids. I'll start helping myself out. If you don't love yourself, if you're a bully to yourself in your own mind, you will find success to be an elusive thing. Because it's you. You're constantly derailing yourself. When you make a mistake, you're kicking yourself when you're down. Being critical of yourself when you made a mistake is the worst possible thing you could do. It doesn't help. Some of you, I don't know if it was conditioned when you were younger or you just figured it out when you went. Some of you believe that the best way to get yourself to do things is to motivate yourself with pain. Pain on the starting line or pain if you don't make it to the finish line. And some of you have found one of the best pains is a withholding of self-love. Fall in love with yourself. Get to know you. Spend some time with yourself and learn how amazing you are. Because when you love yourself, all of a sudden thinking about your goals and your dreams won't seem like such a burden. In fact, you'll find yourself doing it all the time. You won't be wanting to numb out with some food and a TV show or video game or gossiping about other people's drama because you're too concerned with solving your own shit. Because your life, you realize, when you start working on your own problems, your life gets better. And some of you, the reason why you're overweight is because you spend too much time filling everybody else's love cup and you ain't ever filling your own. And you're hoping that other people are going to come fill your love cup. I'm trying so hard to fill the love cup of everybody around me. How come no one comes and fills up mine? Because it's your responsibility, not theirs. I'm willing to bet a lot of people didn't even ask you to come fill up their love cup. If they knew, I'm willing to bet a lot of people in your life, if they knew that you were helping them endlessly to your own detriment, if they truly loved you, they would say, stop. Now, if they're selfish, narcissistic, and all self-absorbed, yeah, they'll just take. But if a person truly loves you, they'll be like, no, go take care of yourself. Yeah, I'd love your help, but I need you to be around for a while. Go take care of yourself. Don't sacrifice yourself. Be here. Be here now. Go after your goals. Success is the progressive realization of a worthy ideal. And you deserve to have the body and the life of your dreams. And you deserve to pursue it each and every single day.